But Johnny, let's move on into our next topic, and we are taking a look at a little. We're still on. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Disney podcast. That's what we're on.
It's basically an all Disney podcast to some degree.
It's basically an all Disney podcast because this is news coming from the Disney Plus streaming service, where we know we're going to be getting Disney movies. We know we're going to get TV shows like Scarlet Witch, and today we're talking about the Loki TV show for Disney Plus, their streaming service. Johnny, it gets its showrunner, which will be, I'm going to get the guy's name here. It is Michael Waldron, who is a writer for Rick and Morty. I almost said Rick and Johnny. For Rick and Morty.
I know he had a writer.
And he's going to be the show's showrunner, and he is going to write the pilot episode for the series. We also have a little bit of news of what the plot may be. Where, and it says here from the Screen Rant article I'm looking at, in a new report from the hashtag report, it has been revealed that Rick and Morty writer Michael Waldron will be the creator of the series and write the pilot episode. He will go on to produce the entirety of the season, which does not yet have a confirmed episode count. News of a showrunner comes to the hashtag report, also providing the first possible plot details of the series, which they say will follow Loki as the trickster and shapeshifter pops up throughout human history as an unlikely influencer on historical events. That's just weird how they wrote it, because it's follow Loki as the trickster and shapeshifter, no comma or anything, pops up throughout history. So is a shapeshifter him or someone else? I'm assuming they mean him.
I think they mean him because he
and
does
the
sort of shapeshift.
But what are you're the Marvel guy. I'm the DC guy.
Am I? Are you sure?
You are the Marvel guy. What are your reactions to this? That we're going to get possibly, I know they said there's no confirmed episode count. Let's just say there's an 8 episode count.
Okay.
Because the thing I will base that off of is, let's do 2 things. First off, let's look at Daredevil really quick. So before I ask you that, we'll do a little bit of research right here on the podcast. So the Daredevil TV series had, let's see, give me that Wikipedia page so I can see how many episodes were in these series. Don't want premise, don't want characters. It would be helpful if you pulled this up ahead of time. Season 1 had 13 episodes, then another 13. So yeah, they had 13 episodes per season, whereas I think the DC universe might be around the same, but it might be a little bit more for them. They might be at like 16, I want to say. Let's say they go with a modest 8. So yeah, 15 for Doom Patrol, which just came out this past weekend. What would be your mind? Let's say they do an 8-episode series, 8 to 10 episode series with Loki. What are your thoughts on this plot that he might be going into historical events and kind of causing some mischief?
I actually really like it. I think it's kind of cool. And then you can, because there's one quote I was thinking about once you brought all that up, that he says to Thor, and I get it. He could have learned that, and this is from Avengers, the first Avengers. He could have learned that all his short time there, but it could play into it more so if he actually went through all the, like if they made this series, it could play more into that, where he tells Thor, oh, you're the protector of them. Where were you when they're tearing each other apart with war? And I know I'm paraphrasing it. So it'd be cool to like just see him like going through history, and just like sort of like trickstering at first and maybe not realizing how much damage he's causing.
Well, the thing you also kind of can throw in there is, and this is a kind of, I'm bringing it back to the first Avengers as well.
Yeah.
Him and Red Skull. Because you think about it, Loki had the Tesseract, Red Skull had the Tesseract. Do those two interacted? And I immediately was like, so am I going to get Loki during World War II?
That would be one thing to see, is like have him kind of influencing some stuff in World War to where he actually meets Red Skull.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Red Skull wants super soldier serum and everything, because holy crap, who's this really strong, like,
God, basically.
God-like person in like of Norse mythology, and that can get why he's like so gung-ho about figuring out Norse mythology. And
because even at the beginning of Captain America, that is the Norse mythology. That's
they're in I think they're in Norway.
Yeah,
where they're like they go to that door, and I think he actually kills that old man, doesn't he? And it's like I want this thing from inside the door.
Yeah,
the Tesseract,
basically, and that could be like maybe a little something of Loki. Not even them meeting. Let's just say Loki influences enough stuff in World War II to catch Red Skull's interest.
Exactly. Like little like a picture here or there of like some or like
just like, who is this guy? I need to know more about this Norse
or like
mythology.
Loki lands on like in Germany, like somewhere in like a military base on accident. And who did this, like made this meth, like the guys attack him and he like takes out 10 guys on his own. It's like who did this? There's one guy with a horned helmet, and then he goes through books and look like pictures and stuff like that, and he goes through, it's like starting to realize this Norse mythology has some realism to it, and that's what gets him on his kick to start doing that. But I mean, he can start, I mean, he's looking it up, he's as of the 2011 movie, he's is 1064 years old. So you can go as far back as like I'd say maybe the 1100s. So
which would be...
Because I'm giving it some time for him to actually age.
Yeah, I'm trying... Because the one thought that I had...
Maybe even the 1200s, if you want to give it some extra time.
And you can... Would that be around the... I'm not a history buff.
Okay.
Would that be around, like, the medieval ages and stuff like that? Or am
I thinking... Renaissance... When did the Renaissance start? I don't 100% remember, but
I'll be completely
I think it was like
honest.
around 1500s the
I'll
Renaissance
be completely
started.
honest. History class was one of the ones I fell asleep in. So time periods are not...
I think the Renaissance started like 1500s. I'm going to double check now, but so go ahead.
Because like I didn't even think of the Renaissance. That would be interesting. I was thinking of what if we saw Loki like pop up in the medieval ages.
The Renaissance started in the 1300s.
Okay.
So he can still be in the, like, if it starts him in the
like
1100s where
like
he...
knights and shit trying to go after Loki with
Yeah,
swords and
I mean,
stuff.
influencing more so some of the Viking stuff too.
He could be like a Littlefinger character.
In essence, yeah, he can start certain even wars if he wanted to.
And then
and
just
feuds.
start the fan theory. Littlefinger is Loki. Littlefinger's still alive because he's Loki. You're never killing him.
I'm looking for something to throw at you.
Littlefinger is Loki. You could just start it right now. You could just
Stop
right now. But any other like, is there any other time periods like? Because here's the thing. The thing I love about this plot, but hate about this plot, is I love it because we actually get something to talk about. It's like cool seeing that he's going to be not time traveling, but just influencing different historical events. My question is, and this is the thing I hate, we don't know enough about it.
I know.
We don't know enough about it to be like what the actual, like, what's going to be his MO. Why is he going to be influencing these events? Is it just going to be because, oh, I like to cause mischief? Or usually Loki has a plan, has why I am doing this. What is that going to be? And also, what is going to be the figure on the other side, if any? Like, usually, if it's a superhero, you have the supervillain. Well, in this case, Loki's not a hero. He's kind of like an anti-hero. Who's going to be that opposite to him, that villainous character?
I'm wondering if they're going to even do that, character. Or they're just going to make it a him kind of messing with stuff, or just
like self-contained episodes.
So I almost want to wonder if it's self-contained episodes that kind of like all this stuff Loki does leads to this event in history, sort of type thing. I don't know. Maybe they'll throw in like a hero / villainous thing going on, or Loki is a trickster. Like maybe he'll like mess something up and realize, oh shit, what I do, and try to like sort of fix it, and that's what leads to
it's good then that they got their showrunner
Yeah.
comes from Rick and Morty.
Oh, very much
because
so.
the thing I'm thinking already that his background and probably to me why he got the job was think about Rick and Morty. Yes, there is a timeline. Like they have a story that they're telling,
But it's very loose episode to episode.
very much, and they're really self-contained episodes.
Yeah.
So, like think of Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick was a self-contained episode.
It was.
Like
Overall.
it had nothing in the greater scheme of things. Yes, it kind of hinted at the therapy that referenced like a different episode where Summer and Morty went crazy, but like
Same episode, but there was like an underlying story.
yeah, but I mean, and also the like the principal being there.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, where it's like,
Like,
hey,
had nothing to do with anything.
you might have gotten this reference from a different episode, but really this was a self-contained
Most
episode.
episodes, like, there's some, like, loose branching to a main storyline, but it's all self-contained episodes.
Machete was probably the loose end of that. Because his daughter, like he... splits
Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Yeah.
It's the voice of Machete.
Oh, yeah, I know. I figured it was based on probably Machete.
Yeah, but like that's probably the only loose end because he doesn't die at the end. He goes away on his own, doesn't he?
Yeah, actually, he comes back and saves them at one point.
Yeah, but like then it's like he's off on his own and he's not dead.
Yeah, exactly.
But like that's probably the loose kind of end of like, will we ever see Jaguar again? I wonder if they're going to do the same thing with this. Like, obviously, it's going to tell an overarching story, but will most of these episodes be self-containing? Or could they just do something with, hey, let's not have an overarching. We only have 8 episodes, not confirmed. I'm just throwing that number out there. Let's say they have 8 episodes. We're just going to do
One-shots.
episodes of, hey, in this episode, Loki's messing with this.
Not to be confused with Marvel one-shots.
All right, we need 2 episodes to tell this
story.
And these 2 stories, it's this event. And it's just Loki messing with different time periods and messing with different historical events.
Well, here's one.
We don't know. They could have one historical event like World War II is big.
Yeah, they could have like a 2-part.
If they do 8 episodes, all right, this whole season is him in World War II.
It could be like 4 episodes long if they wanted to with the World War II. They can do a whole season on just World War II. There's one that I'm just looking up history, like pivotal history moments. The Crusades happened from 1096. The 6th Crusade was, I just had it up. Where the hell did it go? Okay. 6th Crusade, there it is in the 1200s. 6th Crusade, 7th Crusade, 8th Crusade. 8th Crusade was in 1270.
Yeah.
He can screw around with any of that. He can do anything in the medieval period. He can mess with things in the Renaissance if he wanted to. I don't know.
Wouldn't have much to mess with in the Baroque period. I don't remember the Baroque. That was right after the Renaissance.
Yeah, but that's more of a musical period than
that was
actually
basically like when we got all like the Renaissance was like, hey, look at all these like Michelangelo paintings and man, look at all this, like everything looks so bright and colorful. And then the Baroque, of course I'm using that for music, was basically like, hey, we like all that frilly foofy shit,
Baroque
but we're
was
gonna go
like
Gothic.
15 to 1600s.
We're gonna go like Gothic architecture.
Am I right though?
I don't know time periods. I just know what they are. Because after that, it's classical, and then it's the romantic, and I'm going to stop there.
Before you start confusing them all.
But that to me is like that is the most interesting part to me of what historical events could we see him messing with, and could we see a surprise cameo from a Thor?
Yeah,
could they get Hemsworth?
There you go.
Because I know a commenter got mad because I kept saying Helmsworth. I just add letters into stuff without even realizing it half the time. And Johnny just lets me go like a child who's walked into the candy store that doesn't know where he's doing, or a kid that's walked into the movie halfway through and does not know what's going on. That's what Johnny lets me feel like when he lets me add letters to my own work.
He doesn't listen to me anyway, so what's the difference?
Johnny's letting my creative side. You're letting my creative side get
I'm letting his creative side flourish.
But do you have any final thoughts with this? Because I feel like we're getting to the point where it's cool. This is what we could do. And
I mean, there are so many things throughout history that we could keep going on.
There's a lot of history, man.
I mean, we can
like a lot of shit's been done.
obviously it's got to start from, he's, like I said, he's like 1,064
and I'm trying to keep it
old.
out of the United States because
and I know,
Avengers has been all in the United States.
Yeah.
Let's get
I'll do this real
somewhere
quick.
Else.
It's
what about
2019 right now.
What about the Huns and that stuff?
That's one of them that's up here right here. It's the Mongols, the Germans. It's just there's the Mongol. That might be a little early if we're talking about like Indochina and stuff like that.
What about Egypt? Could we see them in Egypt?
That's too far. I think that's too far back. Look it up real quick because I'm gonna do one thing right here real quick. Yeah. So he is. Let me see. 1064. Don't let me forget that number. It's 2019. 2019 minus 1064. So that starts him. He was born in the year 955.
Okay.
For us. So
what we're gonna say, maybe about his 20s is where the youngest Loki we could get.
Yeah, probably, and that would probably, let's put him in probably the 1100s, right? That's safe to say.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest.
He's
like
probably almost 200 years old.
His appearance, like they could say he looks like he is right now, just because he hasn't aged.
Yeah.
Since
they don't age fast.
Yeah. And he's just looked like Tom Hiddleston does right now since then. But any other things you want to throw out there?
No, it's just like I said earlier, they can play with so many things in history that I can't even go over right now because I can't remember half of them off the top of my head.
I want to go through everything.
I need like a book in front of me. That's
I need a book.
I need my history book that's literally like that thick in front of me just to figure out.
Go back to your high school, pull it up.
Oh,
be
God.
like, hey, Mr. Johnson, I need my world history book.
Who says I don't have one at home already?
That was actually my history teacher.
Oh, was it?
Too, Mr. Johnson.
I had a few, but I think I probably have one or two history books at home.
I'll say this, one of the coolest teachers I ever had, Mr. Johnson. His name was Randy Johnson. So first off, props to that for being named after a pitcher. Also, was struck by lightning twice and lived.
Damn.
Not only struck by lightning once. They say lightning never strikes in the same place once. He was struck by lightning twice.
They say it never strikes twice.
Twice. And survived both of them.
Told me to start correcting you.
He was my he was obviously my teacher, but this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. Are you excited about this? Does this not interest you? Or are you kind of like, I'm not even getting the Disney Plus service? Does this make you want to get the Disney Plus service? Let us know what you guys think in that comment section down below.